Good morning, students. Welcome to the English language class. I hope everyone is fine and everyone at your home is also fine. Children, before we start today's class, let's do a quick recap of what we have been doing in previous classes. The last few topics that we had covered, first we did transformation of sentences, then we discussed conditional sentences. Conditional sentences are those sentences that express condition, okay, stating a condition. And we did so many ways of expressing condition. Okay, such sentences are the ones that have if. For example, if you serve me, I shall pay you. Why we did these sentences? Because in exams in transformation of sentences, a sentence like this may be given to you, okay, and you may be asked to make a new sentence beginning with, say, unless. Okay, then you know that unless means if not. Okay, unless in itself is a negative word. Therefore, with unless we do not use anything negative. We always use something positive with unless, because unless in itself is a negative word. Okay, so if, for example, this sentence is given to you, if you serve me, I shall pay you. And you are asked to begin a new sentence with unless. Then you will say, unless you serve me, comma, I shall not pay you. Okay, what is it we are saying? If you do not serve me, unless you serve me, if you do not serve me, I shall not pay you, right? And then there were other ways also of making conditional sentences. Fine. This all relates to the question in transformation. You may be asked to begin a new sentence, a conditional sentence with had or should or were or in case or but that, supposing, provided, but for, were. Okay, so you must know how to frame these sentences. You must know what all these things mean, and if they are given to you, then how you must frame sentences. Children, the notes were already given to you on Snap homework. Please go through these things again and again. Any query related to anything you have, kindly post it on in the WhatsApp group. Okay, after this, we did sentences expressing concession or contrast. Concession or contrast means stating the opposite. Okay, two things which are in contrast with each other. And such sentences can be made by using though or although. Okay, for example, though he is weak in English, comma, he is good at mathematics. Okay, now the thing which you have to keep in mind is with though, we do not use yet or but. Okay, with though we only put a comma and start the main clause. This is the subordinate clause and this is the main clause, and they both are separated by a comma, not yet or but. Okay, yet in itself is another conjunction and you can use it. Okay, but not with though. Fine. And then there are other ways also. We can use notwithstanding also and say notwithstanding that he has failed, comma, he struts about like a headmaster. Fine. Notwithstanding, again, we are stating the contrast of what is said in the conditional clause. We are saying he has failed, but he struts about like a headmaster. Fine. Please go through these notes, children, and any doubt, any query you have, anything that you did not understand, kindly post your queries in the WhatsApp group. It is very important, children, and if you have a record of all these things, then it will be very easy for you to prepare for your grammar section in the exams. Right, children? So, today we are going to start the topic synthesis of sentences. Okay, synthesis means joining sentences, combining sentences, synthesizing sentences. Two sentences are given to us, and we have to make it one sentence. We have to make both the sentences into one sentence. Fine. And this deals with the question where you are asked join the sentences without using and, but, so. Now these three conjunctions we cannot use. Okay. And if we cannot use and, so we cannot use both dash and also. Okay. If we cannot use but, then we cannot use not only but also. If we cannot use so, then we cannot use so dash that. Fine. Keep it in mind, children. It is very, very, very important. Even though you are in 10th standard, but you still continue to make mistakes. There are many ways of joining sentences. Let's go through them one by one. The first one is by using participles. Okay, participles means verb plus ing, right? Present participles. For example, the sentences he went to the field, he saw a snake, right? These are two sentences. They can be combined by using participle, and we can say going to the field, comma, he saw a snake. Okay, then the next one by using infinitives. Infinitives means to plus verb first form. The sentence is I shall go to the bazaar, I shall buy flour there. Okay, now here I shall go to the bazaar, I shall buy flour there. These two sentences can be joined by infinitive like I shall go to the bazaar to buy flour. We will not write there again because we have already mentioned where we are going. Then next one by using nouns or phrases in apposition. Phrases in apposition means phrases which are describing a particular noun or pronoun further. Okay, for example, this one Mahadev was a goldsmith. He was teased by the people of the village. Okay, now here we can join it by saying Mahadev, comma, a goldsmith, comma, was teased by the people of the village. Now keep a note of the punctuation marks, children. They are very, very, very important. If the punctuation marks are not at correct places, then you will not get marks. The entire sentence will be incorrect. So such a sentence can be made Mahadev, comma, a goldsmith, comma. Now Mahadev is the noun and we are using another noun to describe it further, a goldsmith, which should be placed between commas. Right? Let's move on to the other way by using absolute phrases. Okay, for example, the weather was fine, full stop. We enjoyed the walk. Now, such a sentence can be combined by saying the weather being fine, comma, we enjoyed the walk. Okay, next one by using prepositions with nouns or gerunds. Okay, prepositions, words like on, at, for, of. Okay, and these prepositions are used with noun or gerunds to join sentences. Let's see how. I went home. I found my servant absent. Okay, this can be joined by saying on going home, comma, I found my servant absent. Okay, on is a preposition, going again is a gerund. On going home, comma, I found my servant absent. Full stop. Okay, next one, by using adverbs or adverbial phrases. Adverbs are words with ly or words which modify another verb, adjective or adverb, right? For example, Baldev reached the playground, he was punctual. Okay, now this and these two sentences can be joined by saying Baldev reached the playground punctually. Okay, next one, by using cumulative conjunctions. Cumulative conjunctions which add one thing into the other. Okay, for example, as well as. Now, instead of using and, you can use as well as. For example, he is a doctor, he is a social worker. Okay, these two sentences can be joined by he is a doctor as well as a social worker. Instead of writing he is a doctor and a social worker, we can say he is a doctor as well as a social worker, right? Then by using adversative conjunctions, the conjunctions which state the contrast. These conjunctions are yet, nevertheless, however. Okay, aren't these conjunctions familiar to you? We just did them in these sentences expressing concession or contrast. Okay, now they can be used for joining sentences also. It is raining, we will hold the exhibition. Okay, we can say it is raining, nevertheless, we will hold the exhibition. Fine. Now let's move on to the next type by using alternative conjunctions. Alternative means this or that. Okay, neither this is good nor that is good, either this is good or that is good. Okay, fine. Now, which are these conjunctions? They are or, otherwise, either or, neither nor. For example, do not be a borrower, do not be a lender. Fine. Now, both are negatives. Whenever we have two things negative, we use neither nor. So, we will say neither be a borrower nor a lender. Okay, let's move on to the next way. By using elative conjunctions. Elative conjunctions, which are those? They are therefore, for. Okay, so instead of saying so, we can replace so by therefore or for. For example, he did not appear for the test, he was fined. Okay, now these two sentences can be joined by he did not appear for the test, therefore he was fined. Okay, next one, by using a noun clause. And all of you know that noun clauses can be made by using words like that or what. Okay, so we can use these words in order to make noun clause. For example, a good education is the best road to success in life. He believes this. Right. Now, these two sentences can be joined by saying He believes that a good education is the best road to success in life. Next one, by using adjective clause. Adjective clause, subordinate clauses that begin with which, who, whom, that, etc. For example, the slave had to fight with a huge lion. The lion was kept in a cage. Okay, now we can join these two sentences by saying the slave had to fight with a huge lion which was kept in a cage. Now, which was kept in a cage is adjective clause, right? Okay, next one, by using an adverb clause. Adverb clause, the subordinate clause that begins with when, where, since, before, etc. Okay, now for example, the examination was over, the boys rejoiced. We can say the boys rejoiced when the examination was over, or the boys rejoiced after the examination was over. Now, these were the different ways of combining sentences, joining sentences. Please go through all these ways very thoroughly. They will really help you in doing these questions of joining sentences. Okay, children, I'll be posting another video related to letters, the format, and how to write a letter. Okay, children, and I will also be posting worksheets related to whatever I taught today, and you have to do those things in your composition notebooks. Fine, children, this much for now. Take care and have a good day.